All right, what's up? Thanks, Sharif, for having me, man. It feels good. No cap. So I want to talk about a little entrepreneurship and how like the grind really is and how to motivate yourself and everything like that. So first, I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Josh. I go by Josh Laurent. I do YouTube and I have my own brand and a whole bunch of other stuff like that. And so I'm gonna just start off with my story. And my story isn't like I got like I feel like I have a pretty basic story when it comes to it because I know I always wanted to motivate people, like how Matt was talking about find your why and stuff. But I felt like when I was younger, I always wanted to be something in life to where it's like I motivated a whole bunch of people and did good in the world because at first I wanted to be a scientist when I was little and then just moved all the way on until I think I want to say I was 16 because I was a junior in high school, and then I realized I was funny and stuff, and so then I'm like, I might as well just do YouTube, and then that's just how it happened. I just started doing YouTube, and now I have 212,000 subscribers, and I do a lot of card content and all that type of stuff. But with YouTube, I also branched out to other incomes, which is like I branched out to my brand, and I do a little consulting with like YouTube and stuff. Like I have my YouTube method and all of that stuff. I tried investing like stocks and stuff, but I'm too impatient. That's not for me. I tried that, but I tried that, but I'm too impatient. So you gotta have patience for stocks, I believe. I can't do that. But yeah, I go through all that. And so I want to say this to people who want to do things that they think is impossible. Like you would look at yourself and be like, man, I can't be a YouTuber and all that stuff. I want to say this. It's a lot of things in life that I thought was impossible. First, I thought me getting the car I have now was impossible. Me blowing up on YouTube was impossible. It's like, what are the chances of you being able to do this? And a lot of other things in life that you would think is impossible really isn't that impossible. It's really possible. Just like how I'll be like, because right now I'll say 633 a month for my car. And then I was thinking like, how am I gonna be able to afford $600 a month? That's like almost 1,000, you know? So it's like once you actually do it and put your mind to it, you can really do it. And that's the best part for real. So you put your mind to something and you could do it. And that's the same with YouTube. Now, like Matt said, once you find out your why and you go after that, you can do anything. And like I always like to say is you always have to do something you're passionate about. Just because like if you do something just for money, you're not gonna make it far. Like with YouTube, it's a lot of people you hear people saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I want to do it for money and all this stuff." They make a lot of money, and I like to say, if you aren't passionate about it, you aren't gonna make it because there is a time where I sat there. I want the double upload. I sat there all night, didn't go to sleep till like 9 in the morning, just for those two videos to do terrible. And if you that passion kept me going because if it was all about the money, I would have quit right there. But that passion you have for it, that deep down motivation you have for it, will keep you going. And you don't ever want to lose that deep down motivation because that's what really keeps you going. And so right now, when I first got my car, I was 17. So my car is in my mom's name. And now I've been building my credit and stuff ever since I'm 19 now. I was 18, and I just for my Saint Squad that's in here that hasn't seen the video yet, it's going up tomorrow. But yesterday I just ordered my first Hellcat Red Eye charger. So I ordered the Hellcat Red Eye charger, and this before they even became available to order to everyone else. So I feel good, and it's like it's crazy how much you can achieve when you put your mind to stuff. So I ordered that. I'm only 19, and that's gonna be all on my own. So I just want to tell you guys that you can do anything you put your mind to. It might be people out there telling you, making you sound crazy and all this stuff, but one thing is, you don't got to listen to everyone. As long as you believe in yourself, that's all you need. Because when they start seeing you make it, that's when people is gonna hop on the wave and be like, "Oh, you can do this." Because even me, I had to prove to my mom that I could do this. Like at first, my mom was like, "Oh, you got to go to college and all this stuff." I didn't go to college, and college not bad. I'm not saying that, but it's just school wasn't for me. So she always been like, you gotta go to college and you gotta do this and all that. You gotta get a job and stuff. And there was times where literally I needed a job, but I just didn't. I kept going. And one thing I also want to say is, y'all, is you got to look out for the signs that God give you, because God gonna look out for you and he gonna bless you. And just look for those signs, man, and act upon them. Those gonna help too a lot. Really, those are really gonna help a lot too. So, like, credit is king, all that stuff. I believe all that stuff, man. And you can do whatever you put your mind to. It's all about timing. You gotta make sure the timing right, and the timing gonna come. The things gonna come you want. Everything gonna come that you need, man. And you can do anything you want to, man. Even if I'm gonna go back to a time people were telling me I never really had like a hate base, but I had some people who would tell me that my videos were boring and stuff and all that. You can't listen to those type of people. And then it's times where you want to give up on yourself. It was a time that I've given up on YouTube. I haven't uploaded in like a month or so. And then it's always good to have people around that motivate you, because I remember I was in the hotel with my friend Rob, like we was in the lobby and stuff. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm about to stop doing YouTube and stop all this stuff. He was like, bro, your videos is funny and all this stuff. He was telling me how good my videos were and stuff. So that's when I kept going. And now if I would have quit right there, I probably wouldn't even be here right now talking to y'all. I'll be somewhere else in life, which is crazy. So never quit, y'all. Never give up and just keep going, because it all matters. All gonna work out in the end. No cap. That's what I believe in, and that's why I just work hard all the time. You don't never want to give up. Never want to give up. That's the worst thing to do, because you would never, if you give up, you would never know where you would be in the future. Because if you really want something, you won't give up. And I feel like it's crazy because I developed like an entrepreneur or even a motivational mindset since I was like really young. So I don't know. It's just crazy. And for me to tell y'all how I think of stuff is just nothing is never impossible, because everything is possible. Just like you see somebody driving a Lambo down the street, you can get that. It's not I can't afford that, but it's how can I afford that? And now when you put your mind to stuff that you want, you can get it. You start getting easier. It's like the mindset you start developing. When you develop that, how can I do this? That's when it get easier. Like let's say paying bills or something. I pay around, I want to say 1,500 a month in bills right now. But it's not, to me, it's not how it's not I can't afford it, but it's how can I afford it? And that's what brings up the multiple hustles and the multiple things you got to do to afford what you want, because I'm all about happiness in life, okay? To be truly happy is the best thing ever, and I believe I'm truly happy. So I don't let money control me or none of that, but I live to be happy, and that's the best thing. So when you do what you're passionate about and you happy to do what you do, then you're gonna be good. So just know, before my time up, I don't want to go over, but just know, y'all, never give up on your dreams. Okay, never give up on your dreams. Don't let anyone tell you any different. As long as you believe in yourself, you can make it, and just keep going. Just keep going, no matter what, man. No matter how bad it's looking, because you're gonna have 10 bads, and then you're gonna be right here with the bads, and then that one good gonna put you all the way up here. It happened to me like multiple times, which is crazy. But yeah, y'all, be good, man. Never give up on your dreams and keep striving for greatness. And nothing is impossible. As long as you want it, you can get it. No cap.
Man, thank you, Josh. I know at least I heard it. You could hear the passion in his voice. That's the goal. When you can really do something that makes you that happy, you think backwards, like Josh said, not I can afford it, but how can I afford it? If you want this car, you start thinking, what can I do to get it? Can I make a YouTube channel like Josh did? Make the YouTube channel to pay for the car that you want. You think backwards. And he also pointed out some good points about having a good support group. When you feel like it's time to give up or you have no energy to keep going, when you surround yourself with those closest 5 people, like AJ said, they'll keep you pushing and they'll keep you going. So don't give up on yourself. So our next speaker, we've got two more speakers. I'm gonna introduce my father. He's my real estate broker, and to be a realtor, all salespersons they go through a broker. So I'll let him talk.
Man, this is absolutely encouraging to see all of you young people. When I say I am excited, right? I am generally in meetings with people that are close in my age, but to see a number of young people who are here on this call today is encouraging, because that means you all are entrepreneurs in itself, right? Right. And so what I'm looking to give you is some jewels that Josh has talked about, Matt's talked about, AJ has talked about. But I want to just to start by saying one thing, man. Sharif is actually really, really lit. And I'm using some of this terminology that you all potentially use, but he's not told you everything about himself, right? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Sharif. Sharif has actually been an entrepreneur since he was like 10 years old. When we lived on our old street, I mean, Sharif was out cleaning mailboxes for $20 a mailbox. He would spray paint your mailbox with some shiny type of something for see-through glaze or something, clean the mailbox and charge our neighbors as he mess up their mailbox. Clearly is messed up when he's done, $20. And for some reason they were willing to pay him, right? And so I think his entrepreneurship, his skills, he's been honing this thing for a long time. But I want to just kind of tell you a little bit about myself, and then tell you how Sharif got into real estate, and then how you all, each one of you, can make a couple practical steps to increase your revenue per month. I've been a real estate investor about 20 years, right? And I actually started right when Sharif was about to be born. I was stressed out. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna take care of myself. I was listening to these commercials. If you've ever seen commercials at night, you hear them and they say, I've been flipping houses for 20 years and I made 10,000, I made 20,000. That's how I started. But I had a pressure because I had a son coming. And so I started buying houses. So in the city of Detroit, in my lifetime, I probably owned close to 1,000 houses. I owned close to 1,000 houses, flipped them. And we owned a number of houses, probably close to, at one time, close to almost $4 million, right? And during the period of time where I was getting out of the single family houses, Sharif was in 9th grade. I taught Sharif how to flip houses, right? So he was making daily advertising to individuals overseas. He would communicate with them, and he would negotiate how much we would sell these houses for. So Sharif has actually been flipping houses now, if he's 20, just about 6 years. And finally, last year, he became a real estate agent. So he's very versed in real estate. He's actually been giving me tips on stuff to do lately, because sometimes as you get involved in real estate, you actually forget things, right? But so that's just a little bit about Sharif. But here's some practical things that AJ talked about, Matt talked about, Josh talked about. The one thing I want to make sure you take away from this conversation tonight: you can never do anything if you never get started, right? That means you have to get started, and getting started requires that you're going to fail, right? You're going to fail. And I'm the first person that comes to my mind, only because I'm thinking about sports right now. If you remember, Michael Jordan never made the basketball team the first time. He actually got cut, right? So if you're expecting that you're going to win your first time out on the floor playing, and I'm saying in the real life of, this life is called this game of life. If you expect that you're going to win immediately, is an absolute false statement, right? So the first thing that in real estate, if you're going to win, if you're taking notes, and Sharif is recording this, I want you to first thing you're going to do, you're going to get a copy of all 3 of your credit reports. If you have absolutely no credit, like Matt said, that is a great thing. Now you want to say, how am I going to get started and buy me a flip? I want you to find 4 to 6 credit cards that you can buy, 4 to 6 secure credit cards, right? And there's credit card companies out here, and Sharif at some point will put together a spreadsheet and send them around. You want 4 to 6 credit cards, right? Now, because all of you are young, if your parents have some credit cards, I want you to immediately have them add you to their credit cards. Add you to their credit cards. Don't add you to a credit card that has a $5,000 balance and it has $4,950 on it. I want you to be added to a credit card. You see, AJ said, no, you're over your debt to income ratio. You want to be added to a credit card with a zero balance. I'm trying to hurry up and immediately increase your credit score. Like Sharif, his car's in his name. He has a number over $20,000 in the bank, right? But this is all his own hustle, right? His credit score is like close to 800. These are things that he's done, but I actually put him on a credit card, had him get some credit cards. Now I remove myself off of his credit cards after he established his credit. So he had a car in his name. He had like 5, 6 credit cards, Apple cards, MasterCard, Visa, all of the Discover, all of the cards that you need. Now, once you have the credit cards, right, and you got some credit, now that is the biggest thing that you can do for yourself now is how do I find an investment property? And that is when you get on a call with Sharif and you figure out, are we going to buy a house from the Wayne County tax auction? Are we going to buy a house from foreclosure? Are we going to use a hard money lender to buy a house? If you're trying to buy a house, this is the scenario that you're looking for. Use this forever and you will make money. And then I'm going to get off the call so someone else can jump on. If the house is worth $100,000, I want you to be buying this house at all in. I don't want you to be in a loan with rehab no more than $65,000. So that means you have bought the house potentially for $30,000. You put $20,000 into it. You in it at 50, right? Potentially you take a refinance and take 15 your way. Never ever be overextended on the investment side, because if ever you get into trouble, you owe $65,000 on it. You can immediately sell it for 90 at a discount and still make money, right? Does it make sense? So I'm gonna walk you back through it again. The ratio is, if it's worth 100,000, I don't want you all in, which includes rehab, purchase, and everything, owing no more than $65,000 on the house. How do you get there? The first way you get there first is you got to get 4 to 6 credit cards. After you get 4 to 6 credit cards, you will then now leverage some of your credit cards. You may be able to get a cash advance. If you get a loan from a hard money lender, right? Say a hard money lender gives you a loan for $65,000. They're going to want you to have about 15% down. How are you going to get the 15%? You're going to take some cash money off of your credit cards, put down the 15%, and you're going to try and sell that house immediately within 30 to 60 days before that money show up on your credit and mess up your debt to income ratio. And that's the basic thing on how you're going to buy a house, an investment. And if you cannot buy that house, right, potentially maybe you buy a 2-family flat. You live in one side and you rent out the other side. Does that make sense? Live in one side, rent out the other side. This whole thing here, being an entrepreneur, is how do I make money off other people's money? But you got to get started. So the first step is order your credit reports, get 4 to 6 credit cards, and then now you got to pool your money together. And the last thing before I get off, I got to go. If you're working right now, I want you taking zero dependence, because I want you to get a tax return every year, so that you take your tax return, you get a tax return of about $1,500. You're going to take that $1,500 and you're going to try and find a piece of property that you can finance with that $1,500. Or you and 3 other people get together, $1,500, y'all got $6,000. Your buying power increases. That's it. Your credit is the most important thing. Some of you will buy a house or finance a house at some point in life. Sharif is going to be there for a realtor. You all are, it sounds like you're looking, how do I make some money immediately? Hopefully I gave you some helpful practical tips, how to get started, not next month, but right now. But you have to get started. Don't be scared to get started. Josh said something like, you got to find your why. Matt said you got to find your why. And AJ said, listen, you can always reach out to him to help find out how do you purchase a house if you need one for yourself, like a 2-family flat. That's my time. Listen, Sharif is actually very, very smart. He's a good networker. Don't let him underestimate or say, listen, I can't do this or that or whatever. Listen, he's a good guy. He's doing a lot that I don't even know about, like Monopoly games.
No, thank you, Dad. I appreciate it. I learned almost everything I know from him. He's the hardest working person I know. I barely made it 2 years in college before I decided I wanted to do real estate full time. He went 4 years in college, and then just a few years ago, he went back to law school. So that's a long 3 years. And that's a lot of studying and a lot of hard work. So he's the most hardworking, determined person I know. And we got about 8 minutes. I got a few minutes. Chase, you want to say something real quick? And then we're going to have Keys talk about stocks. So I'll turn it over to.
All right. Good morning. Not good evening, everybody. One of the big things I want to talk about is using your resources. I think one of the big things is YouTube. Over probably like the past year, I was able to build like a whole 3D model, a whole house, which is like people like go to college and get well-paid jobs for something I did that I learned from YouTube. YouTube is like a really big thing that we can all learn something from. I built two PCs that it takes very long times, and you guys might not think you'll be able to do it, but you guys can always push through it. Just like Josh talked about how he was pushing through things. One thing that motivated me is if you guys ever seen Josh's car, like, oh man, I wish I was in there, like, or like a Lambo, that's a nice car, like, or you see someone hop on a private jet, like, ooh man, I wish I was right there. Like, you want to stay motivated and see where you can get stuff, because you guys have so many resources. You guys have Sharif, AJ, my dad, and Matt. So use your resources and always look around you is one big thing.
Yeah, thank you, Chase. I just want to add, if Chase was a realtor, I would refer you all to Chase, because Chase is a lot smarter than me. He sat on our kitchen table just from watching YouTube videos. He built an entire PC from the motherboard to all the little pieces all by himself in a night. And he's built multiple PCs. So I just like to thank Chase for coming on and giving us some of his knowledge, because he's I kid you not, a lot smarter than me. So we got about 5-6 minutes left. We'll turn it over to Keith. And Keith, he's the stock guru. He knows all about options trading. He's going to tell you what apps to use, how to watch the market, and how to just get started with stock investing.
Appreciate it, bro. What's up, everybody? My name is Marquis Spivey. I'm here pretty much to talk to you guys about investing through the stock market, whether it's long term or the day trading side with options. And the main thing I really want to encourage everybody to do is just to continue to generate several streams of income. You know, when you think about income, think about it as like when you look at any body of water, an ocean, or primarily a lake. That's your account. That's your money. That's your profit right there. The more streams you have, though, the bigger your lake will be, or the bigger your body of water will be. So I'm here to encourage people to do that through investing and through options. The reason I say investing is two types of ways that I do it, long term and also day trading. Long term, that's for those who are patient, who want to play the waiting game. Those who can invest and just let their money make money, or they go and worry about the other streams of income. The best part about that is you don't have to work. You let the money do all the working for you. You do a little bit of analysis, you look at fundamentals, and then you let the money make your money on its own. The other means of income is through day trading, options trading. That's where you're making the money same day. You know, you're looking at stocks, you look at the technicals, you look at the fundamentals, you buy in, and then based off of chart patterns and other stock market information, you can use that to help you get an idea of where a stock is going to go, when it's going to get there. That way, when it does, you can put your money out and take profit. I do both regularly. I teach it. The main thing I want to encourage people to do today is, pretty much be active. There's apps like Robinhood, E-Trade, Thinkorswim, Webull, that some of them offer free stocks right when you sign up. I throw a course that teaches people how to invest long term, how to trade daily. I went to school for this. I took courses to learn how to get a better understanding of what exactly I'm doing. That way I can teach it to other people. So it's not like it's something I'm just saying. It's something that I went to school for to learn how to do. I have a group chat that does a lot of talking, and where I throw signals live at to invest and to trade live daily right beside me. Even if you don't use any of those avenues, investing is one of the key ways to make money, in my opinion, at least, because that money will generate on its own. You don't need anybody else's help. You don't have to put work on your back, work on your shoulders. The money will make money on its own. And in doing that, you can then use that for your other streams of income, or it can generate money so you can put that money somewhere else. That's money you don't have to touch, or it can go over time. There's a lot of things that people don't understand or don't know about the stock market simply because they've never asked. I'm here to tell you guys that I'm the one that you can ask. If there's nobody else that you know who knows anything about stocks or stock market, I'm the one that you can ask. I'm the one that can point you in the right direction. Uh, there's plenty about stocks. There's plenty more I can go to in the detail, but I know Sharif brought me here just to encourage people to do that and encourage people to look into it. So that's all I'm encouraging people to do. It's important to have so many streams of income, at least, I would suggest at least 4. That way, if one gets stopped up, the other ones will pull through and keep you going. That way you don't have to worry about when you lose your job, or what am I going to do now? What am I going to do next? You already have several streams of income already pouring in to your account at one time. So investing is definitely an avenue. It's something I've been successful at so far, something I'm going to keep pushing at and keep doing. Definitely going to end up linking up with Sharif and using some of my investing profits into real estate and other avenues. Since I'm not working for my investing money, I can actually focus my attention on other things. So, it's definitely other things you can look into. You can make YouTube your best friend. If not, you can ask me. You guys have my information. If not, Sharif will give it to you. And that's all I really have. But thanks for having me, Sharif. I wanted to make sure I kept it brief. But if you guys have any questions, you can hit me up, hit Sharif up, and anybody else in the chat up, because it sounds like a lot of money being talked about in the chat. And it's looking like a lot of money in the chat right now as I look through the participants. So shout out to all you guys for even taking the time. That's it for me, Sharif.
Man, appreciate you, Keith. He's got one of the best stock chats. I've looked in it. I'm in it. I've made money from his signals, from his callings. And even if you don't want to do day trading, you can invest, like he said, invest in the simple companies that you know, things that you buy, things that you wear, places that you go. Invest in those things. And I'd like to thank everybody. We got 28 people on here. It's an amazing turnout. We're getting close to 6. If you want to stay, if you have any questions, you put them in the chat. You can stay and we'll answer as many questions as we can. But I appreciate everybody again. It's great to see everybody on here. Thank you.